sector has been cleared of all alien life, with only Esker remaining in the Falstaff region of space. Bug divers are stabbing back into the frozen heart of the Draco sector, with the Knights of Cold Steel trying, once again, to regain control of their monastery planet of Astanu, and victory there is predicted in just over a day. On the Western Front, good, solid gains are being made on Coapessa 4, where the Bringer of Mercy is currently in orbit, lending HellDrop and orbital strike support. However, Wasat is starting to lose some ground as the bots get their act together, and Vandalon 4 looks like they're probably going to get screwed again. I hear the Resistance fighters there are becoming very bitter. Here's hoping that in the near future they can get the manpower needed to finally shove Wall-E off that frozen marble and get the planet properly liberated once more. Also, if we could shut down the cyber attacks originating from Troost at some point, that would probably make our lives a lot easier. In fact, if we could just, erase this whole automaton regime from the face of reality and turn Cyberstan into, I don't know, a food court planet? I'd be happy as a clam. As for tomorrow, you know the drill by now. Morning news will be delayed pending new major orders from command, so either rest up and prepare yourselves for what the brass is in store for us next, or jive harder and try to finish up your homework on planetary liberation before we're all reassigned. Now, before I move on to the tips and tricks part of the show, I want to make a quick mention of something. The Ministry of Science has filed their reports on the recent major order, elucidating that no one method of killing Terminids yields any more or less E710 than any other. It's really dependent on biomass involved, with things like chargers and bile titans yielding more element than scavengers, though this was probably pretty obvious. They did notice something unusual, though. Instead of showing up randomly, as most mutations in the wild tend to do, Terminid mutations were shown to decrease in frequency the closer they got to Super-Earth. This suggests new genetic variants are being created deeper inside Terminid space, possibly on the mysterious outer periphery, where no HellDiver has ventured since the conclusion of the First Galactic War. The exact cause of this is unknown, but theories abound. Is there another Meridia-type super colony out there vomiting forth unending hordes of hangry death beasts? Or is there another, more sinister force at play, guiding the Terminids' evolution and altering their migration paths so as to usher in Super-Earth's demise? Only time will tell, and more investigation is necessary. Spookiness aside, let's talk tactics for a moment. Namely, animal conservation and getting those bang for your buck. Everyone knows about orbital supply pods and scavenging ammunition from points of interest on the map. It's one of the first things wet behind the ears rookies learn after getting their capes and the keys to their super destroyer. But there are more possible techniques. For instance, if your support weapon is nearly empty and you've purchased the donation access license, you can simply call down a first support weapon every 8 minutes. If you don't have superior packing methodology yet, this is a viable alternative to double dipping on your next supply pod drop. If there's something horrible chasing you, and your support weapon is empty, you can throw the beacon ahead of you so that the weapon will land just as you pass by. You can grab it, whip around, and give your assailant a nice funeral. I'll bring flowers. The trick to throw the beacon ahead of your path also works with eats. Some time ago, I helped my brother Seibun put together a video demonstrating some techniques using that weapon. Link in the description. What if you're primary, though? I think a lot of people are unaware of this, even though they see it constantly. When a diver perishes, they drop their support weapons, which they'll probably want back once they get reinforced, and their primary, which they won't care about at all. If your own primary is nearly out of ammunition, go ahead and pick up theirs. They're already going to be vended a new one once the replacement gets thawed out, so no harm, no foul. In fact, pay attention to where your fellow HellDivers die if you're in some serious trouble, because those are small munitions caches. You can become much more liberal with your usage of primary ammo, and that might just be enough to get you out of said trouble. If you end up dying, my condolences, by the way, you on your past self as well. Blast your past lives' murderers into kibble with your newly vended primary, and if you run short, pick up your prior primary and keep the killing going. Between these tricks, orbital supply pods, and ammunition scavenging, the times where you run out of ammo will likely become very rare indeed. Unless you're rocking the Liberator carbine. That thing piddles metal like a pregnant racehorse in a monsoon on peach tea and lemonade binge. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pondera, the radio angel. Again, good job on dispatching a whole billion creepy crawlies. I'll see you all tomorrow for the next major order briefing. Until then, I think we've all earned a rest from this endless battle. Sleep well, divers, and know that you are loved. Everyone is safe. No one is in danger. Your job is done for right now. Lay your heads down and sleep. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for Super Earth. Good night, divers.